Hello and welcome to the third part of this Boost the Atmosphere of a Night Scene video tutorial. In the last part we just layered up the images and used blending modes and masks just to get the areas that we wanted shining through the picture. Now we're just going to do a little bit of a clean up before finishing off. So at the moment we can still see some blue coming through the trees. We can also see some quite distracting bushes coming over the top of the bandstand, and what we want to do is just a series of selections and adjustments to get rid of these. So the first thing we want to do, make sure you've got your levels layer mask selected, zoom right into the picture, select the polygonal lasso tool, and quite simply what we're going to do is just make a selection of these two areas that we want to get rid of over the bandstand first of all. So there's our first. Hold down your spacebar and just left click just to navigate to the next part. Make sure you've got add to selection in your options, and then we just want to cut out this next area, and we'll just quickly zoom out, and again just click on refine edge and we should see the areas that we've selected. Just going to smooth that by about 6. Got a feather of, we want 0.5 to match what we did before. Click OK, and we just expanded that selection by 1. Now if I just select my brush tool, make sure it's black. At the top I've got an opacity of 100%, and I quite simply just paint over those areas. And basically that's adding to the mask in the levels layer, and it will remove those two areas. If I go Control D now, and now those have completely disappeared. Now obviously at the moment we've still got this blue and a little bit of haloing on the trees in the background, and we need to sort that out now. So select your lasso tool, select your foreground layer, and what we want to do is very quickly just select around those areas. Again, use the Control plus or Apple plus just to zoom in. Hold down spacebar just to navigate around so you get a good selection. Just select that area. Try and use any sort of natural lines that are appearing in the foliage or in the buildings. Finish that off. Again, we're just going to refine the edge. Zoom in a little bit more so I can see what's going on. And what we're going to do here is create a new levels adjustment layer. Just going to select blue from the channel drop down, and then what I'll do is just to increase the blacks by, or the shadow areas, to about 128, and you can instantly see that distracting blue just disappear. So if I just select preview on and off, on and off, and it's just sort of dulled those blues down, got rid of them, and given it more of a night feel, so that we don't have to faff around. We're trying to delete all the little bits of sky from within the branches. So we can just click OK, and what we need to do now is just to repeat that for the left hand side as well. What we can do is just click on our mask, delete that area, and it will automatically apply the same selection to that area. So there we go, we've sorted out our trees in the background and they now look a lot more realistic. And the final thing is just to pay a little bit of attention to the moon itself. Now if I scroll up to the moon, we can see there's a few stars going on in the background just behind that. Obviously if the moon's in front of the stars, we wouldn't be able to see those stars through the moon. So what we need to do is just use the spot healing brush just to get rid of any of those dots, and which are the stars, just to get that realistic look. Okay, and once we've done that, just zoom out. And obviously the final thing to do for our composite night scene is just to flatten all of those layers down into one. First thing we'll do is just throw our foreground copy layer into the bin. Then we can select all of our layers just by clicking on the top layer, holding down Shift, clicking on the background layer, then going Control or Apple E, and that'll flatten all of those layers down into one. So there we have our final image, which has boosted the atmosphere in a night scene.